of the company.
What's going on, good people? We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We having more technical difficulties this week where we couldn't play our intro. Y'all know we give it a couple minutes with the intro for people to file in before we get started. And with us going live, we just going to wait a quick second, man. So y'all let us know in the comments. Y'all tapped in with us. What y'all doing tonight? Ain't no basketball on. What y'all eating on tonight, food-wise?
For dinner, what y'all snacking on? What Netflix y'all watching?
Yeah,
anything
man.
like that. What's your Netflix? I know I've been watching some Netflix.
So let us know what y'all got going, man.
Wow. Doing my little tweets.
Gonna get started here in maybe one more minute. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us on this good Monday evening. Got a good show lined up for y'all. Good and quick, man. We're gonna be in and out this thing.
We say that. We've been doing good this past week for not being super long. And our views, y'all been liking it. Our views been going crazy when we ain't been talking for an hour and a half. So I guess this ain't the way to go, I guess.
We're getting right to the money.
To the point.
Right to the money. All right, we hitting 3 minutes in, man. I think that's good enough. By this time, we'll just let everybody kind of file in from there. But we appreciate y'all patience. Appreciate y'all patience for sure. Well, to get right to it, man, like I said, we got to do it a little bit different until we figure out what these difficulties are. But it's all good. We ain't going to let no monkey stop no show, man.
No, sir.
Grizz Nation, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. I am Chris Ingram.
And I am Evan Hayes.
And this is the No Bluffin podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything Grizzlies. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us, like I said, on this fine Monday. I got the worst, absolute worst, like allergies I've ever had in my life, bro. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on with me. It ain't just me. The whole family got hit hard. Both of my babies sitting over here, snotty nose, little Daryl-esque. The wife, same thing. We trying to push through it, bro. I don't know. There's some different kind of allergies going on, man. But what's going on with you, my boy?
Man, just working, bro, living. I really don't got much to say, not being in school, it calms everything down for me. It's so funny. Like, I wear my Apple Watch. I'm slowed down to the point where even like my Apple Watch is like, we've seen a change in trend in your health. Are you sure you're okay? Like, because normally they used to be running and stuff. They like, yo,
you all right?
Running? You good? Like, your exercise you're not exercising every day. You good? So that's how when it's something different going on. Yeah, bro, just being back home with the fam, working, trying to make a little bread. Got some things in the works that I can't announce right now until I really get it going. So I'm working on that too, media wise, so y'all can like tap in with me on that. So yeah, bro, just chilling, living. Can't really complain too much. Watching these playoffs, so we'll get into later. Some conversations that's been percolating in my head. So it's gonna be a good episode. get in. Hopefully, Chris and his family feel better. So, because I know how it is
Man,
having babies in the house when y'all not feeling the best. So, prayers out to y'all. But it's been a smooth little week, bro. Can't complain too much.
yeah, that's the worst part about the allergy thing. Like I've always gotten like, go outside cutting grass, going outside playing sports, the sneezing, the puffy eyes. Take some allergy medicine, a couple days, you good, bro. I feel like we all on that episode of Martin where Martin came in where his face was like super puffy and just huge, bro.
Everybody got it.
We wake up that way every single morning. We all need ice packs waking up for some reason. Yeah, it's just different. This is different. This is a different kind of allergy season for sure for us anyway. But it's all good, man. Gonna push through. Ain't gonna complain too much. It is what it is. It could be worse, man. Ed, appreciate you, my boy, for sure. For sure. I'm gonna give me some local honey or something, man. I don't know where the bees at. Go get the honey off the honeycomb my damn self.
I know there's a Whole Foods somewhere where you at. You can probably get some real honey.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I probably need to
somewhere near you.
Yeah, I need to make that trip for sure. But yeah, man, we're gonna get right into it, y'all. Again, appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Ain't too much Grizzly talk right now to go over. We can kind of make up scenarios and things like that. Now, I definitely appreciate the guys that do daily content when it comes to the Grizzly sphere, I guess you could say. Shout out to the Michael Cole and Joe Mullinex. I know they got locked on Grizz. They do every single day. My boy Anthony Sane just announced that he's gonna be going every day starting June 2nd. So salute to him with that. So yeah, man, it's content out here that's coming out daily, and it ain't even peak off season yet. It's tough, but we're gonna get through it for sure. He said, "Not for real, go to farmers market and drink some tea." I got so much tea in there that I need to definitely take heed of that. Appreciate you. I'm doing that as soon as we get off here. I appreciate you for reminding me that.
Smart man.
Sure.
Smart man.
Yeah, he in some kind of like, what is he? He in PT school for okay,
PT,
still health. He's still around doctors and health people.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Me and El was watching the game together, and of course, unfortunately, when Jason Tatum went down, he's like, "Hey, I already know what that is." He like broke down by the whole like Achilles. And I was like right off, I was like, "Dang, bro, you've been in your books for years." Like he gave me like a 3-minute explanation of why the Achilles breaks, why does it take so long to heal, and all. Dang, bro. So yeah, he on his stuff when it comes to the medicine and all that. So he's a smart. He got the smart genes. I'm alright, but he got the smart.
Man, salute to you, Ed, bro. I really thought physical therapy was gonna be my lane. That was what I envisioned. Like if the sports thing didn't work out, I was gonna still be around it. And man, I think I went through physical therapy for the last time. I got up here to Austin P and tore my meniscus, matter of fact, and was trying to rehab that junk. And my PT at the time was telling me everything she had to go through as far as to get, licensed and certified and a degree and all that. And I was like, bro,
it's a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna figure something else out. And here we are. If I could go back, do I think I would probably go ahead and knock that out? Maybe so, but I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. College, what was the class that really got me? Kinesiology, anatomy, A&P, and kinesiology. Those two courses, bro.
That's hard.
In high school, I aced them like it wasn't nobody's business. I got in college, bro, and I was like, okay, I know I'm pretty smart. This shit right here is too much for me. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, what is happening?
All the different bones, muscles, which muscle connects to this, like all that, how the body moves in a certain way. Like, bro,
they take it to another level in college, bro.
Yeah, I envy.
So salute to Ed on that. Memphis native, we appreciate you tapping it in, man. Much love for real coming back and chopping it up with us, man. Let's go and jump into it, bro. You want to start east or west first? I'm gonna let you choose. What you want? How you want to do this?
I'm gonna go east first because the west was gonna lead into our second topic. So let's start with the east first, and then
smart
go
man.
to the west.
Smart man. All right. Well, hey, it's that time of year, man. We down to the final 4 teams in the NBA. The Eastern Conference and the Western Conference finals are set. I believe the West kicks it off tomorrow, Tuesday. We got the Thunder and the T-Wolves, but we're going to chop it up about the East first, man. We got the Knicks and the Pacers. Evan, if you could go back to your 1 year younger self around this time last year, and you had to anticipate what the Eastern Conference finals would be, Would you have it the Knicks and Pacers if you had to put money on the line?
I would not have it Knicks and Pacers. I would have had one of these teams and ain't the Pacers. Like I could have seen the Knicks making it to the East Conference Finals. That didn't seem outside the question. But the fact that the Pacers are in the East Conference Finals is a big surprise for me. So if you'd asked me a year ago, I would have said either Boston in New York or Cleveland in New York. But not having neither of those teams, it's been a crazy playoffs. It's been entertaining. So I've loved what I see. But do I love this matchup? No, for my own selfish reasons. But they've been playing good basketball, so I'm excited to see how it lays out.
Tell us about them selfish reasons, man. What you got going over there, bro? Like what you got in your heart, bro, that you don't want these two teams to match up? I think it's gonna be a good series. I mean, your bro
This is
said, man, look, it's a good matchup on both sides, and it's an all-time series, man. What you got, bro?
I really don't want to spoil our second topic, but it's kind of
Okay.
going
Don't dive too much
Yeah,
into it.
I ain't gonna like for me personally. This is my worst. Like on both sides, this is my worst possible scenario of what I wanted in the East and West because all four of these teams either have a history with Memphis or they've been compared to Memphis in some
Yeah,
way capacity.
yeah.
So and we can go down a rabbit hole of why. So this is literally what I did. My reason, the only team I'm rooting for in this situation is Minnesota because I want Mike Conley to get a ring because everyone knows Mike Conley is my favorite player. I'm a fan of Ant. Even though I know that Ant and Ja conversation was a big thing, I'm a fan of Anthony Edwards. Like
Oh yeah, for sure. You got
basketball
to.
wise, it's gonna be a great. It's two. These are gonna be two great series. But as a Grizzly fan, as a Memphis fan, I hate it. I hate it. I want everybody to lose. But since that can't happen, you know, got to be what it is. But I know from a basketball perspective, this is gonna be some great basketball, no doubt.
So I'm gonna take a step back real quick and tee you up with going back to, I guess you can say, the Eastern semifinals. So you had the Pacers and the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
Where do the Cavs go from here? Because we understand that Darius Garland, he had a toe issue. We get that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever had a toe issue as an athlete, I mean,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
can joke about it. That shit is major. Like that hurts.
Yeah, it does. Most
and
definitely.
his game being herky jerky, start stop, super quick,
Shifty. Yeah. Yeah.
shifty, like that affected him a lot. But I think they had some other little things going on too, bro. I hate it for Donovan Mitchell because you look at his resume, second round is kind of like his cap at this point of his career, which is
Yeah.
still much further than we've been. We don't have 7 to 8 straight second round, exits.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on the Cavs, with them going into next season? Do they run it back? Do they look to get into this Giannis mix? And then two, just the way that the Pacers was able to kind of navigate that series with just like pure dominance, bro. Like what's your, with them getting set up to be here, like just kind of give us a breakdown on that series to kind of get it, because we didn't go too much into either side
Yeah. Yeah.
during that round.
Honestly, before this series started, I thought the Cavs had it in the bag. I recently had Cavs in 6. But once you start looking at how the series played out, like despite the injuries, you can see the big holes that Cleveland has as a team. And you ask where do you go from here? Like I am a Donovan Mitchell fan. I honestly feel like he's, if not the best, the second best shooting guard in the league behind D Book. It's just, am I
Mhm.
confident with him being your best player on a championship aspiration team? At first, I thought. But it's not because of D Mitch, not because D Mitch was putting up 40 and 50 points during this series.
Mhm.
It's about his supporting cast not being good enough around him to lift him up. So you asked about being in the Giannis sweepstakes. I feel like Cleveland's is a big sleeper because do I feel like Donovan Mitchell is good enough to be a championship caliber player on a championship team? Obviously, but if him
Mhm.
being your best player, that means everyone that's around him is under him, and you need another guy at least on his level or above him to take you over that hump. So
Mhm.
if I'm Cleveland, everybody outside of D. Mitch, Evan Mobley, and probably Darius Garland, I would say, it's up for grabs. Like I think they have a great roster, like Max Strus and DeAndre Hunter and Isaac Okoro. They have a great roster put together. But we're
Mhm.
seeing now like the trend is you need 2 1As to be successful. Like almost every team remaining, they at least have almost every team has at least a 1A, like 1A, 1B.
Mhm.
And is Evan Mobley at that point yet? You could probably say, but if you put a Giannis next to him or KD or all those teams, that could just elevate them to the next level. And I just
Mhm.
feel like in that series, Indiana just broke them down systematically. Like they were just on one accord just from the jump. Like defensively, offensively, they ran their stuff to perfection. And ultimately, it came down to Cleveland just running their offense completely through D Mitch. And you see that was sustainable for a 7 game series. It's not that the talent disparity wasn't that big. Honestly, I feel like not Denver. Cleveland has a better. We're talking about Denver in a little minute. Cleveland has a better roster than Indiana. It is the fact that with those injuries, they couldn't work as a cohesive unit as good as Indiana on both ends of the floor, which kind of led to their demise. So I'm I'm hopeful because everybody knows Cleveland is my team out east. Like I love Cleveland. I like Devin Mitch. I like the whole Cleveland area. But am I looking for them to make some moves? Probably so. Do I feel like they will? You never know. Like the NBA is super sporadic. You never know what might happen. But I
Yeah,
could definitely see them making some moves because I don't feel like they're good enough with Donovan Mitchell as their best player to take them over the top with how the rest of the Eastern Conference is laid out.
I'm gonna go to a couple of comments here. Got Coach Vaughn. Shout out to our boy Coach Vaughn, man. He said we had one
Yeah,
job.
one job.
I was sitting there laughing a little bit because, like, kind of to go to that point. I know for the last couple of years before OKC became, came and kind of snatched our chain a little bit,
Mhm.
in the hearts of the NBA world. That was the dream finals for me, bro. It was the Cavs and the Grizzlies. I was like, oh, you got
Yep.
Ja, D Garland, you got Book. I mean, not Book. You got Bain and Mitchell. You got Jaren and Mobley. Like it was a lot of just that mirroring of
Linked
us.
up,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And then you had JB up there at the time. Just leaving from
Yeah.
the. I think that was just the storyline of it would have been dope. Obviously, it never freaking happened. And it is what it is. But yeah, we definitely had one job. But hey, we got fired on our day off, Coach Vaughn. It is what it is. Whoop Dog, I hope I said that right. Whoop Dog, he said, here to hear some capping. No, man, y'all know, man. Well, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if Evan be putting on the show. He'll tell you that, but I know I ain't putting on no capping. I'm gonna keep ain't no capping our rap. We keep it all the way honest. We try to anyway.
No bluffing
Nah,
pod.
man.
We don't
Yeah,
bluff on it.
man.
It's in the name, bro. Come on.
Yeah, we can't do that. But hey, we appreciate you tapping in for sure, man. It's all love over here for sure. Ed said that the Cavs did not have dogs on the bench. We know all about that personally. Them dogs will definitely get you over the hump for sure. And Coach One said he's like in Indiana recently, man. Indiana looks great. Just to kind of touch on what you were talking about. I won't go into that. Stop. But Tyrese, before the whole overrated and before I think he had like he had a weird end of the season last year. But ever since he got moved into Indiana, I was sitting there watching him and I'm like, bro, he is literally the prototypical point guard if you want to build a winning team. Like his shot is ugly as hell. I don't know where that came from, but it's been going in. He learned how to make that work. Pass first point guard, dude got size. He's got a good enough handle to do what he wants to do on the floor. Them kind of dudes are fun to play with, bro. And you can call them corny, you can call them overrated, you can call them this or that. I hate his voice, the fact that his voice literally just blends different pitches as he's talking to you. Like, I don't get that. But at the end of the day, like just on the court, like you said, when we just judge in basketball, bro, his game is perfect for a point guard. And you look at the way that he's been able to kind of be the glue to that team. You bring in Pascal. I didn't know if that was going to work. It's working. They 2 years, in a row going back to back conference finals. So something is there. Nemhard. I mean, you can go down the list, bro. They just have a perfectly built roster to maximize this new day and age in the CBA. The way you want to build a team, and that's kind of really what all four of these teams have done, bro. Like you said, getting you a really good, decent 1A, 1B, and then you just mix it up or max that with just high level role players. They've done a great job of doing that, drafting, signing, developing, trading, all of that. They've done what they needed to do. So Zach Kleiman, if you don't got a freaking clue, I hope you got a clue now with all four of these teams. They
Take
did
notes. Please
literally
take
all of those
notes.
things. It's not just about just drafting. No. All of these teams signed and traded and drafted to get to where they at. And I mean, we got the main piece, which is you start with a superstar. We got that. You just got to fix that. So loving what I'm seeing from them. I said, no, I like that. We got Book, man. I wish we had Book. Do what you got to do to get that shit. I would love it. Yeah,
Make
he
that
on my
happen,
list
please, bro.
For
Hey,
real.
make that happen, bro.
We ain't got to do too much on the Knicks, man. They did what they had to do in that Boston series. It kind of sucked that it went that way.
Yeah,
With
sure.
Tatum going down, but they were losing. That's what people got to understand. They were losing that game already when he went down in the fourth quarter. They was already down 3-1. Oh, they were about to be 3-1 anyway. So
that's be that people. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They were losing that series regardless. The Knicks got the juice right now. They are, revived up north. Who you got coming out of this series, bro?
I got the Knicks. I just feel like yes, Indiana's playing great basketball, but I feel like top to bottom, the Knicks, they're just some dogs, man. Like Tibb running his guys to death, but they seem to have this one is few series that they're not running out of gas. Normally with Tibbs teams, they play very good the regular season. Around the second round, they run out of gas because he's infamous for only playing 7, 8 guys the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
But just how Jalen Brunson has those guys playing, how Cat has elevated his game, how Josh Hart, like you can go down the list. OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, like just being those Swiss Army knives on the wing position, like I just feel like they match up. They have way too many matchup nightmares for Indiana and the other way around. Because you
Mm-hmm.
can just go down the list. I feel like Jalen Brunson and Tyrese, they kind of X each other. I feel like Jalen Brunson a little bit better, but I feel like they probably X each other out. We go down the list. I'm taking OG, Mikal, Karl Anthony Towns
Mm-hmm.
over Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. Who you say their third? Their third probably Nimhart or probably like who be their third guy outside of them? I'll probably say Nimhart probably. I'm probably drawing a blank right
The
now.
third guy?
Yeah, outside you got you
Uh,
got you got Miles Turner, you got Pascal, maybe Nimhart. That's what my mind goes to.
it's probably a toss-up between him and Naismith. You probably would have said Miles Turner back in the day, but
No, that's
not
what I'm
no
saying.
more.
That's what I'm saying. Outside of Halliburton, you got Miles
Pascal,
Turner, yeah, Pascal, Miles Turner, and then the third guy.
the
That's what
fourth
I'm saying.
guy.
Yeah, the fourth guy. Yeah, fourth guy. I mean.
Uh,
I'm taking the Knicks outside because I was saying that Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, they kind of cancel each other out. I feel like
yeah,
Jalen Brunson a little bit better. So I'm saying the next three guys, I'm taking OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Carlton Towns over Siakam, Nimhart, and Turner.
yeah,
Or you can even
yeah,
Neesmith. I'm still taking the Knicks top guys over Indiana's top guys. It's not it's
yeah.
not it's
I
not a
feel that.
big difference, but there still is a difference. So I think, and the spirit of New York is just ridiculous right now. You got every former Knick courtside on every game. You got Stephon Marbury, you got Latrell Sprewell, like everybody coming up. So they're just on a high right now, and I
Oh
don't
yeah,
see Indiana. I don't see Indiana stopping that. So I got Knicks in 7. I got Knicks in 7. I got Knicks in 7.
you're gonna take it to the brink. Okay.
Yeah, I got Knicks in 7. Cause Indiana, they ain't gonna go down. They ain't gonna go down like no. I don't want to say the word, but like they gonna go down swinging. You feel me? So
Yeah,
I got Knicks in 7.
I'm gonna go. I'm definitely on the Knicks train. I think that the Pacers find a way to pull 2 out. So I'm gonna take Knicks in 6 if I gotta put a dollar on it on a parlay or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna be a good series. And I know we're gonna talk about the West here in just a second. We'll get to some comments. Uh I do think, I guess I'm gonna give you a preview. I think that the NBA is setting up and maybe not, but in my mind they are. They setting up a Knicks and Wolves finals. They had the big trade over the summer. I came on this show and said I think both teams lost that trade. I didn't really see how neither one of them got better.
They both lost.
I put my damn foot in my mouth because they
Yeah.
literally are the 2 of the last 4 teams, and so big salute to them, bro. They definitely made it work. They've had health, which is, I mean, what you got to have in something like this. And that USA thing is, we got to keep an eye on that. That Team USA thing. Tyrese and Ant came back on a tear. Like, I get Shea, he was with Canada. They gonna do their thing, and he's already been taking a next step, period, point blank. And what's his name? Jalen Brunson, he went to FIBA the year before, but
Yeah.
that's something, bro. There is something to that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Let's get to some comments real quick.
Steve Kerr created a lot of monsters, bro. That's what you're saying. Steve Kerr just created a whole lot of monsters that the league got to deal with.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get him the credit, but
He the one that was sitting them shoes.
I'm just saying, I mean, them guys playing with the greats. You sent Ant
Yeah, it's
and
true.
Tyrese on a freaking field trip with LeBron, with KD, with with Steph and all these other greats. I mean, you got to come back with something. You have to.
For sure.
And so I think they definitely did that. And proud of them for it. Let's get to a couple of comments. Memphis Native said, I'm guessing Ty Jerome. Is that who you're talking about? Memphis Native reminds you of CDR?
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that for sure.
It's a bucket.
CDR look crazy as hell now, bro. I don't know what dude got going on. I know he's Mormon or something, but like he just looks so weird.
Yeah, he a different type of dude now, bro. But shout out to
he is not the dude that went to U of M. Like I would have not thought that came from that. That's crazy. But hey, be yourself. Bro. I ain't mad at you, bro. That's who you always
living your truth, dog.
Facts. We got DJ in the building of the Grizz 901 postgame show.
My
he said, Evan. He on your way.
Like, so these are my well, y'all can't see, but I have like all my past jerseys, like from all my like basketball and track behind me, and it's like, so I guess so. So hey, that's why I want to touch my room. So hey,
I ain't mad at you, bro. Hey,
I'm trying to do
show off my compliments, big dog.
Yeah, I got 2 degrees back here too. So yeah, y'all can put some respect on my name too. So
all right, chill out, bro. You ain't got to stun on the folks like that, man. Chill out. We got Courtney Williams say rooting for a Timberwolves Knicks finals. I'm right there with you, Courtney. I think that's gonna be the most exciting storyline for sure. If Shea get a ring, or if Shea gets to the finals against either one of them East teams, he's whooping their ass. So you better do what you got to do. I ain't gonna hold you. They ain't got nothing to do with dude. They're not gonna be able to hold him.
Nah, they're not. And I feel like, and this may put my tinfoil hat on, I just feel like this is setting up the NBA to crown Ant as like the next guy, especially if he makes to the finals and wins or loses.
Like, but yeah, I feel you.
I'm saying this happens for the NBA to officially
official stamp.
Official stamp. You are the next face in the NBA. LeBron on his way out, Steph on his way out, KD. You are gonna be on all the billboards. Oh my gosh, all like the advertisements. You are driving our league for the next 10 to 15 years. So do I love that? As an Edwards fan, I'm cool with it, but as a Grizzly fan, we'll get into that later. But I feel like this is a prime opportunity for Ant to step his flag. Is like, if not the best player in the league, but at least top 3, because he's been right outside the top 3 conversation, for the past few years. I feel like this is really step him, Jokic, Giannis, Shea, him, and then they can kind of debate back and forth about who is that. But
yeah,
I feel like this is a red carpet for him to do that. He just gotta, and I feel like he will. He's got to come on with it, and I feel like he will.
Yeah, we got a question actually to kind of coincide with that a little bit as far as top list, right? We got 4 teams left in correct order. Who your top 5 guys you got left? I'm gonna make it hard on you. I was finna say in no specific order, but no, I'm gonna make it hard on you. Who you got is the top 5 guys left in the playoffs?
I'm gonna take my bias out of it because the hater in me want to put Ant 1 and Shea 2, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put Shea 1 because he's gonna be the MVP. He played great against the Grizzlies and played great in his last series against the Nuggets. So Shea 1, Ant 2, probably Brunson 3, Halliburton 4. Who'll be my 5th? I'm kind of inclined to put Cat in my 5 because Cat's been playing his tail off, man. I'm inclined to put Cat up. Yeah, like with him changing his voice and stuff, trying to sound like he's from the Bronx. You saw that video? He's trying to sound like he's from New York.
That man is a goofball, bro.
This is the
corniest Eastern Conference Finals ever. Whoever wins, you're gonna get a weird voice. Never.
Like, you ain't never spoke like that in your life, bro. People forget you even from New York, bro. Like, come on, bro. Anyway,
get your ugly ass. Man,
Rucker Park. Like,
if he come to Memphis one day and start saying, "Man, I'm gonna slap the shit out of Cat," like, bro, stop, bro. That is, you gotta cut this out.
I was down at Orange, man, with Yo Gotti, man, and Moneybag. Like,
yeah,
bro,
man, yeah.
But yeah, that's my 5.
Man, stop, bro.
Yeah,
this
stop,
ain't you,
bro. Yeah, but I got Shea 1, Ant 2, Brunson 3, Halliburton 4, and Cat 5.
I'm going Ant 1, bro. I think this next series, I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a series. I can't wait till tomorrow. I think Ant is gonna plant his flag, like you said, and just say, "Hey, I'm here." LeBron told me go finish it. I talk crazy to Obama over the summer. Like, I'm that dude, bro, and I'm finna let y'all know I'm really that dude. He has the most to me, he has the biggest bag. He's not hunting for fouls. I can respect and watch him work. His team respects him. They play the game the right way. You can say what you want about coaching, but them dudes getting it done, man. I'm gonna put Ant number one. I'm gonna put Shea two just because of pure skill. I'm gonna say I'm like you. Like I'm gonna put my bias in it. Brunson is a cold dude, bro. I just can't put him above them two. So he's at 3 for me. And then from there, I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably go Cat then Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
I may regret that by the time.
Why do you have Cat above Halliburton?
Because like Halliburton's his team winning is not predicated on him going out there having an amazing game. Like he can be in control, set his teammates up, things like that. And if he has a great game, I feel like it's a bonus. But like as for much of a starter as he is, or engine for that team as he is, he just needs to go out there and be himself, and they can go out there and win a ball game because of the type of basketball they play. With New York, I love OG, I love McHale, I love Josh Hart, and Brunson gonna do his thing. But I mean, Cat, bro, he is the unicorn. Like if you're talking about skill set, again, I think he's soft. I think he's weird. He got his little issues, but he has propelled that team to heights they haven't seen in a long time. And if you're talking about just strictly basketball skill, that dude, I can't talk about that. And he's shown that he can go off for a 30 and 20 if he puts his mind to it. And they started to treat that man like he the mayor up there. So, and Brunson been there for years. So that tell you something right there too. So I'm gonna put him over Hallie, but Hallie's right there for sure. Appreciate you, DG for that question. Let's see what we got. You got the Villanova teammate storyline, the Cat run the swap, and it's him by itself. You got it, Courtney. It's just too much, bro.
Yeah,
it's too much. I want to see what's the name fight one of them Villanova boys too. White Dante. I want to see him find one of them dudes, bro.
Yeah, like real humble. Hey, first play of the game. Oh, you remember that clip? Remember that clip in the Verdine team? Kobe like first play of the game. I'm running through pass, F and chest. I need Dusty to do the same thing, bro. Like, hey, I want to shit me out. I bet. Hey, JB, ain't no hard feelings, but I'm gonna have to come for your head, bro. Like, yeah. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I feel like Ant has the most to gain through all the 4 teams remaining. Like, if Shea wins the championship, yes, it's great for OKC, first championship ever. He's probably cementing himself as one of the best players in OKC history, if not the best player. Of course, if New York wins the championship, the state of New York, gonna go in flames because they're gonna go crazy. And New York haven't seen a championship since 1973. Of course, if Indiana, but I feel like Indiana obviously has the least to gain because I don't feel like people are gonna of course I was gonna care because it's an NBA championship, but of all like the glitz and glamour, I feel like that would be like the least glitz and glamour if Indiana was championship because no one took Indiana seriously. I feel like out of all the teams, people take it in the least serious to win a championship this year. But if Minnesota and Ant wins a championship, I feel like that just puts the league on a whole different trajectory of like who's gonna be the guy and who's gunning for who. Like the hierarchy in the Western Conference changes completely if Ant Edwards is at the top of the mountain. Like it does. Like Denver gonna have to bow their knee, OKC, us, like whoever. Like Ant being attacked because he's still young and he's still going. Like it'd be different. That's the whole thing. That's why I said it because the difference Ant was already in his prime and is 23 years old. Like it's not a 1-to-1 comparison because this guy I'm finna name stayed in college longer. But it reminds me a lot of Dwayne Wade's first run when he got his first championship in 2006. Like I don't know why it reminds me of that, but it just does. Like a guy, yes, great supporting cast around him, but he's willing his team, like, and it's because of him. Because he's in game in and game out. His team success is predicated on him scoring 25 plus every night. And also, one thing the other guys aren't doing, he's guarding the other team's opposing best player as well. Something that D Wade did in that finals run. Like D Wade never backed down from a defensive challenge, and Ant Edwards isn't either. So I don't.
He's playing the whole game too, bro. He playing like 40, 42 minutes.
Yeah, like he's doing like he's he's putting the cape on. Like he's doing the whole superstar duties. So like I don't know. I just Evan, you was too during that.
Your
Shut
brother
up.
putting you on
Go ahead.
blast, bro.
He is.
Damn.
He trying to check right now. I'll check it when he get back home. Anyways, Edward, I don't know if y'all can see that for the people that was alive during that time and was cognizant enough to see that.
I was locked in, bro.
That's what I see this. Like I see Ant in the 2006 D-Wade. I feel like those and how D-Wade was on his trajectory of being Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade wasn't even Dwayne Wade yet. And he thought he was gonna be one of the ones coming up. And unfortunately injuries happened and yada yada yada. But I see that same thing for Ant.
Hey, I'm not mad at that. Ed said another, like you brought up earlier, like Mike getting the
Oh yeah, for
ring.
sure.
That was my thing with the Nuggets, and we're finna go ahead and get into the Western Conference. I really wanted Russ to get over that hump, bro. I was rooting for him,
Yes,
but
me too.
they
Me too.
couldn't really, overcome all them injuries. We'll go ahead and jump into it. We got the Thunder and T Wolves tomorrow night. Just to kind of take it back to the last series, real quick. It's only so much you can do, with Michael Porter Jr. He's got a messed up shoulder. He's dealing with one arm, basically. Then you got Aaron Gordon dealing with one leg. You got Jokic and Murray basically running that whole team. And
Murray was
Russ
sick
is,
one of the games too. Like
yeah,
Murray was sick
like,
one of the games.
man, they was
Yeah, it
dealing
was
with a
bad.
lot, bro. But it came down to a game 7. Where they didn't have enough, roster wise. They had injuries playing against them, and you're going against a team that with the Thunder, bro, they're gonna make you beat them. They're not gonna beat themselves. They just not. They're gonna shoot bad at times, but they're gonna find a way to will themselves to a win, and they did that completely by getting to the Western Conference Finals, bro. Like, so if you want to revisit, we ain't got to really talk about that Wolves series. It goes in and out for the most part.
Yeah.
The Warriors, we'll see what y'all decide to do. I think y'all should
Good
go and probably
riddance.
blow it up.
Bye-bye.
It's
Bye-bye.
done out there. No, let me ask
Good
you,
riddance.
do you think they
Put
done?
a knife in them.
You think it's a wrap?
As long they'll never be done as long as Steph Curry is playing basketball. Like
How much
they will
longer this
never.
dude got left, bro? And then how many people they gonna be able to bring? They got Jimmy there and Draymond. What they gonna bring?
We said this. We said the same thing about LeBron. LeBron's still 40 years old. Steph like 34. So like practically you can have if you want to like 3 to
36.
5 more years. Yeah, 36. But technically you can have like 2 to 4 more years of peak Steph if you really because he has no signs of slowing down. Like of course if he's healthy and all that. So as a hater, I want to say blow it up and be done. But as a basketball person, just that loves the game of basketball, they're never gonna blow it up as long as Steph Curry is being Steph Curry. Like, because Steph Curry has shown that he gives you a puncher's chance. No matter what seed, no matter who is in out the lineup, if Steph has at least 1 or 2 guys that can go with him in a decent team, he can shoot you into a series. So I'll never think they're done unless they decide to trade Steph off the team. Because
You think he don't
that
get
ain't.
hurt? They pull it out. Or you think it's
I
same
honestly
result?
don't. I think the same result. I feel like it would have probably been bigger, longer games. I feel like it probably went like 6 or 7. But like I said, I just feel like because even like the team was just playing top to bottom, very good basketball. Like they had Rudy Gobert looking like prime Shaq for like
They
1 or 2
turned
games.
up.
I was like, what is going on? Yeah, Rudy Gobert getting 20 and 20 double doubles. Like, what's going
Right.
on? Like Mike Conley was playing well. Like Alexander Walker, he was playing well. Julius Randle all of a sudden is turning
Stepping
into
up.
like he's elevating his game. So I feel like they just had too much firepower. And as much as I like Jimmy Butler as a player, he didn't turn into Jimmy Butler they needed. Like
Oh,
even
he
when
shit
Steph was in
big.
the lineup, they needed Jimmy Butler to elevate his game and him do in the playoffs. And he just
Mm-hmm.
seemed like he was on cruise control the whole time. Like, and that's as a
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler fan, that was very surprising to see. So I don't think the result would have been different at all, honestly.
Yeah. Do you have any concerns? We got Memphis Native. He said they ran joking to the ground all year long.
He
They
was
definitely
tired,
did.
bro.
And he
He
is
was
not
dead, bro.
clearly is not in the best of shape. I mean, he does it. He makes it work for his
Yeah.
size and how much they play, but I mean, he ain't doing himself no favor. He one cheeseburger away from being Escalade. I don't. Are you too? Hold on. Are you too young to know who Escalade is, bro?
I when I think of Escalade, I think of like an and one person that they
Okay,
like
yeah,
who
that's what
who
I'm
named
talking about.
Escalade.
That's what I'm talking about. R.I.P.
That's like hot sauce.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
I'm thinking about. So maybe I
Hey,
ain't
Ed,
that young.
I had to check his age, Ed. I had to make sure he knew. I had to make sure he knew, man. I had to do a check. Man. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Jokic wants
I
you
got it
brothers
right.
to
I passed
be
the test, y'all. Hey, I passed the
right.
test. I'm not that young. Yeah.
We don't give you crap for maybe 5 minutes. We'll pause for about 5 minutes and give you crap on your age.
For sure.
But yeah, man, like that's another. I think we get too caught up and obsessed with blowing things up and the whole transaction porn and like, dude, this guy, you know, the legacy talk before it's even over. Like, you got people really talking about a former champion from 2 years ago should go ahead and blow this whole thing up. I disagree. What's your thoughts on the Nuggets? What do they do? Because he didn't really get a best post game interview. Like, I don't know where that came from.
Jokic doesn't like the media, so I wouldn't expect anything different from him. He doesn't like talking to people, but I don't look too much deep into that because that's who just Jokic is. Again,
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing for Steph. Like, as long as if you have a top 3 player in the world, like undoubtedly that what Nikola Jokic is, you always have a puncher's chance to elevate your team to a championship. Like, he almost did it this year. Like, Jokic had statistically one of the greatest seasons of all time. But he also was on a team where if he goes out the game, they go on a 13 to 15-0 run. The opposing team does. So, like, collectively, they just didn't have the team that's to support him. But no, I don't see the Nuggets blowing it up into anytime soon. It's the same reason why the Lakers haven't blown up. This is like pre-Luka trade, like before they traded Luka, obviously. Like, the same argument for LeBron. LeBron is such a great player that he can give your team a chance to be competitive, like no matter what. We have like those like excuse me, those like upper echelon players that they're like a 1A or they're like top 5, top 10 in the world. You don't blow that team up unless like it's just a bad situation. Like Phoenix, you blow that up because Phoenix ain't going. They're like a dumpster fire. They're not going anywhere. But
Yeah.
like the Lakers or the Nuggets or the Warriors or you don't throw the Bucks in there because they're in a different situation too because they don't really have a
Oh, yeah,
future.
that's messed
So
up there.
I'm
Yeah.
not throwing the Bucks in that category. But you have like a top 10 player in the world undoubtedly, and you have a somewhat future ahead of you. You don't blow it up. So nah. But like
Yeah.
you said, people get so caught up into like the next trendy topic, the next talking point, like the
Yeah.
transaction point, like you said, that should they be shopping Jokic? Like, no, like
Why? Like,
why would you do that? Like, there's no good reason why you should shop Nikola Jokic. Like, he's the best player in the world. Like, you don't trade the best player in the world unless you just have no confidence in your future at all, like zero. So
yeah.
nah, bro.
First take done fried our brains, bro. They did a job on us
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh, they are
Um,
such a bad show sometimes, bro. Bad. They are a bad show.
I think you can't blow it up for the simple fact that like Murray is, if you talking, bro, if you type in on Google playoff riser, like his picture gonna pop up. That dude right there, bro. I don't care what nobody. He don't come into the season looking, you know, in the best of shape. Even in the playoffs, he don't look like the, you know, if you're trying to pick in a lineup of who looks like the most athletic person in a lineup, he don't look like that. I mean, he still wear big shorts in a league that everybody putting on tight shit. Like, he just Murray's different, bro. And it's one of them things where I don't know if your goal is to build around Jokic, who do you go move Murray for and bring in? Like, Murray, I don't think is the problem. He didn't have the best game yesterday. I get that. But that man done bailed them dudes out so many
A lot.
times.
More
So
times than
many
I can
times.
count.
And he's so skillful, bro. I don't know what you move him for to improve next to Jokic. I think the biggest problem came down to
Ran
the
out of
same
gas,
reason
bro.
why, wasn't that too, but then also the same
Yeah.
reason why Zach Kleiman should be getting fired. This is the reason why Calvin Booth got fired too. You
Roster
traded away
construction.
all your veteran pieces and just you wanted to double down and believe it on your young guys, bro. And you don't do that when you've just won a championship. We keep building so we can repeat. Like, and so I think that's more so the issue. I think Peyton Watson's gonna be a decent player. You give him some time to develop. Christian Brown, they talking about he may get 30 million this offseason a year. I'm like, that is crazy.
Crazy.
Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
if they do that, Jokic need to roll. That just don't make sense.
It's a lot of money. It's too much damn money.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't think you blow that up. Michael Porter Jr. now, that may be some. We talked about
He's a
Bane a
good
couple
player,
weeks
though.
ago.
He's still a good player for them though. Like I'm
But
not that's
for
not
that
the first
money
name that
though,
comes to mind. For
for
that
that
money,
money,
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
because we
his
talked about
value.
Bane getting
Yeah.
36 million this year, right? Like
Yeah.
he's comparable to MPJ in that regard of a guy that if you want him to be your number two, your number three, but you paying him that much money, you just really not getting that amount of return. So if anything, I think you package that. But you
Okay.
saw Aaron Gordon go out there and he literally proved that. I mean, they call him Mr. Nugget for a reason. I don't think you move him. You know, he's the heart and
No.
soul of that team. So
I did not know he was making $35 million. Like MPJ's making a lot of money. I did not know that.
getting a bag.
Yeah. He's making 38 next year and 40 the following year. So yeah, man.
Might have to
Yeah,
move
that
on
may
from that.
that may be a spot to move for sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about this the Western Conference series real quick. We got the Thunder and Wolves. We already kind of gave a brief prediction of who we think is gonna win. Matchup wise, you kind of went through the matchups with the East. Tell me how you
Mhm.
feel like they match up between these two.
I feel like Ant and Shay, of course, cancel each other out. You have, you could probably lean towards Shay a little bit because he's playing, but that's just you're drawing straws at this point. They pretty much cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do the same thing. Next three best guys, because that's gonna make the big difference in the series. So for OKC, you have Jalen Williams, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Chet Holmgren. You probably say your next three best players. So for Minnesota, you have Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, and who'd you say third? Darcy DiVincenzo, Mike Conley. Who'd you say would
I'm gonna
probably be
give it
third?
McDaniels, bro. McDaniels been playing
McDaniels.
ball.
You're right.
Yeah.
McDaniels. So yeah, I agree with you, McDaniels. In that case, that's again a push, but I'm gonna do the slight edge to Minnesota because Jalen Williams has shown this player that he can be so up and down. He's been so up
Oh,
and
they
down in
hate
this
him,
player.
bro. That
Yeah,
fan base is
they,
hating that dude
they can't stand him.
for real.
I feel like Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. I feel like they're not gonna be the guys that's gonna sway a series. Like if they're
Mm-hmm.
playing great, it's gonna help you, but if they're not playing great, it's not gonna kill you either.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like being that is what it is, I'm putting the slight edge to Minnesota because Julius Randle has been consistent this whole time. Gobert, for some reason, has been playing his best basketball of his life right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaden McDaniels is like that even keel, Mr. Consistent guy that's gonna play great ass defense to you. He's not gonna make this mistake. He's not gonna turn the ball over. He can knock down a shot here and there. So it's gonna be a small push, but I'm gonna give my slight edge to Minnesota off of that. And I feel like Ant is a playoff riser, overtakes Shea. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not talking about them as like talent as a basketball player, because again, this kind of tit for tat. But
Yeah.
Ant has shown me and shown us that in the playoffs, and it's time for him to really rock out, he can rock out the best of. The only guy that's had Ant's number in the playoffs has been Kyrie Irving, and I don't see a Kyrie Irving on the OKC Thunder. So unless Kyrie Irving comes
Right.
back from his ACL surgery and puts down an OKC jersey, I'm taking Ant over anybody when it comes to 7-game series. I just do. So
Yeah.
that's how I
Hey,
feel.
quiet as is kept. Shea ain't had no amazing playoffs either.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
People ain't talking about that either. Like he's gonna
Nah,
get probably. I mean, shit. I don't want to get into MVP talk. We'll talk about that when the award gets announced.
please don't. It's gonna be
The playoffs. I'm. Maybe it's just the gravity that he brings and the attention that he brings. It's allowing his team to continue to do what they do. Obviously, we know how the defense is. I don't know how Caruso continues to guard. Yes, I do. He's fouling the shit out of these 7-footers, and
he's
they're not
found
getting
the hell
called.
out. That's what
I checked. I had to
yeah,
correct
bro.
myself.
Nah, you know why. We see why.
Yeah.
Shit.
But you know what? That's on them 7-footers not to knock the hell out of him and say, get up off
Put
me.
an
He should be
elbow in
on the
his
ground.
ass, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
he
come
should be
on.
on the ground. Like, stop playing with me, bro. Like, no, like a freaking puppy. Like, back up, get off of me. But it's working. So, hey, I ain't more power to you, Caillou. I'll say this, bro. Like, the Wolves, I don't know, bro. I just didn't see this. Like, I wanted to get them in the playoffs, the Grizzlies. I wanted us to match up with them, and I don't know if they were playing at this high level if we would have beat them. Like, I don't know. Like, especially when we saw how Bane and Jared nutted up. I don't know. But I mean, them folks have took it to another level. I don't think it's gonna be. What did I say? I said the Knicks in 6. Uh Mm. I'm gonna go Wolves in 6. I think that they
Wolves
get
in
2
6.
games. I think the Thunder get 2 games, but I believe that, like you said, Jalen Williams, he's not a number 2. He's
No, he's
not.
not.
He's a
They're trying
high
to make
level
him
number
number one,
3. Yeah.
but they're not using that.
And Chet hasn't stepped up to be the number 2 yet. He may just be what he is, another high level 3. Hardenstein is doing what he's supposed to do, and you got all these other dudes mixing it up. Wiggins, Joe, Dort, you got all of that. I think it's just gonna come down to shot making, dogs for real, toughness.
Yep.
And even though they got home court, bro, don't let Ant get game 1 because it may be the Wolves in 5. I don't know, bro.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. OKC still has a great team.
They
They still have a great
do,
team. Go that
but
far.
they playing good at the right time. That's the thing. Like, that's my only thing. If they lose game 1, it might go 5. It might go 5. They gotta get game 1, or else call me crazy. Hell, I might put a $1 or $2 on that bet too. We'll see. I don't really got too much to talk about this series. I'm really just ready to watch it. I think it's gonna be some amazing basketball, which we have been, yearning for a while. People give what's his name? What's the commissioner name, dude? Adam Silver. They give him a lot of crap. The CBA is crazy. It is literally crucifying teams. But if we end up at the end of the day with a Final Four like this, that could technically be a toss-up, but it's gonna be real good basketball. That's all you can ask for. I just wish it was the Grizzlies in there at some point. So, you got anything left on this series before we move on to the last topic, bro?
All I'm gonna say is I don't have it for this series, but I'm gonna say this and may make some Grizzlies fans sad or mad. If there was one championship for us to win, it was this year. Because look at all the teams that's left. This was the championship for us to contend for. I gotta say. I just feel like from what we've seen, I'm lagging, so hopefully it's coming through on the screen.
Yeah, I got you.
If there was one for us to get or at least be in a conference final score, it was this year. So that's all I gotta say.
I'm with KD. Why you say that?
The reason why I say that is because I'm trying to make a parallel with like football or like college basketball, like college football. I just feel like because parity is such a big thing right now, I feel like at our best, if everyone's healthy, I'm not saying we would have beat these teams. I feel like we could have been more competitive because you're not running into a juggernaut like Denver. You're not running into a dynasty like the Warriors or the Lakers. Like these are teams that we're going to talk about our next topic. Our timeline kind of matches up. So you would hope we raise our game to the level to compete with these teams. I'm not saying we would have beat the OKC or we didn't beat OKC. I'm not saying Fulton would beat OKC or beat Minnesota, but I feel like at our best, we could have gave them a run for their money if everyone's coming to play. Obviously, that didn't happen. We know why who laid the bed, who shit the bed, but because parity is so big right now, and because the offseason, it will be the offseason because a lot of things could happen in both conferences this offseason. I feel like this was a golden opportunity for us to make our next move that we'll go into the next topic, but make our next move to that upper echelon of the Western Conference that we just didn't. So that's just my opinion. I feel like this could be one I feel like this is one they got away from. Like, of course, injuries, obviously, but if healthy, I feel like this could have been a more competitive playoff series for the Grizzlies.
I would agree with you. I asked you earlier if you can go back 12 months from now. I would agree with you 12 months ago. Looking back on it, and not to go into too much detail, it just wasn't in the cards for us, bro.
It wasn't in the cards.
When you talk about the way that Kleiman handled the Jenkins situation, if he knew he was gonna fire him, he just should have went ahead and fired him.
Yeah,
because you played in his face. Like for all intents and purposes, you know how I give it up about Jenkins. Didn't care for him at all. You played in the main face, so you go draft Edie. He doesn't use Edie the way you want. We know the turmoil that they had with the offenses. You bring in Isolo. He said, "Well, screw your offense. I'm gonna go with the D3 guy. That's the third or fourth, fifth guy on my bench. I'm gonna run his offense." Like you had the messiness with that. You had the call it what you want. You had the Marcus Smart debacle in a sense. Yes, he couldn't stay healthy, but moving on from him completely. and you don't replace them with anything, that hurt.
Yeah.
You don't have any playoff toughness experience. You move on from Jake LaRavia. I'm not saying he would have did much, but Gigi getting hurt affected us big time. Obviously, if I'm thinking 12 months ago, I'm thinking Gigi's going through a full healthy offseason. He's going to come out and be a monster. That didn't happen. Like I said, you don't have any replacement. Jake was playing how he was playing. We could have used some of that for sure in the playoffs. We just didn't have nothing, especially when you lose Jalen Wells, who was your primary three, your small forward. Then you end up having the jaw injuries. You end up having the people
injuries. He got hurt too,
you can say what you want about Jaren. Jaren, his ankle, his pride, his ego, whatever. He mentally wasn't himself after the All-Star break. Like, it was just a gumbo of bullshit that, like, this wasn't a year. It's 12 months previously, I would have said yeah. But it's like soon as the season said go, and looking back on it in hindsight, and you see what was brewing from all of this, it wasn't our year.
That's I should explain it more. That's pretty much what I mean. Like, if everything was clicking from top to bottom, from management,
we should have capitalized.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I should explain it better. But because I said at our best, but I meant like top to bottom, like collectively this whole year, this was the year for us to, do something, because the parity is so all over the place right now. But obviously, for all the reasons you just said, it didn't happen because it was a lot of BS on everybody's part. So that's what I meant. So that's kind of what I was about to say. You capped it off, so you did that.
Man, KD said that white man with the headband with the clips.
White man with the headband is crazy. You ain't even called him, man. You said white man with the headband.
Oh man, golly, that's funny, KD. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's like something your daughter would say. You top skin. Why that white man with a headband doing? That's like something your daughter would say. That's funny.
That's hilarious,
funny, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We're gonna finish it off with one quick topic, man. Evan, I'm gonna let you tee this one up because you sent it to us in the chat to kind of go over it, man. So I'm gonna tee you up. I'm gonna let you present it. So I don't get fined. I'm just playing. We're gonna keep it real. Go ahead, brother.
So yeah, like I've been in this discourse a lot on Twitter, and being that the conference finals is what it is, it's a lot of, as y'all can see, a lot of young teams with a lot of young guards that have seemingly taken that next step, or at least taken their team to that next step, to heights that Ja Morant has not been. I know in the the end of the season presser, they asked Ja Morant, do you feel like they surprised him? Ja was like, nah, like, have you? I've been a second seed too, but unfortunately, Ja, they have, because Ja has never been to a conference final, never been close to a conference finals. Well,
all these Negroes now that are, God, dog.
Yeah, like now everyone that was once in the conversations with Ja, or at least Ja was better than most conversations, is now surpassed Ja. Because we can say as Memphis fans all day that we think Ja Morant is better than Jalen Brunson, but we can't say that he undoubtedly is, being that Jalen Brunson has had more player success, and that's what matters, is player success. So the question is today is, has the league passed Ja Morant? I know my answer, but I want to get your answer, Chris, and what do you think Ja can do, at least his team can do, to put Ja and the Grizzlies back in the good graces of the masses?
I get the question. I get the topic. I've been seeing it on social media. I think it's hard to say something like that there's such an individualistic thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, has the league passed him up, when it's a team game that we're talking about? And so, like, you look at when we up for a fight, who's the person we know we can count on, even down 50, that's gonna still go out there and try to, go balls to the walls? It's Ja Morant, bro. Like, who has the most breaking all the records in Grizzlies history? It's Ja. Who's the biggest figure in Grizzly history? It's Ja. The most exciting player in the NBA is still to date, even though he's out of the Western Conference playoff race, it's still Ja. I think he got so much going for him that if, obviously it's going to take him to lock in. And if it was something that I would say to him personally, is that, like, you still got this league in your hands. Obviously, you got to stay healthy. That's one thing, people can say he cannot control it. I think it's a mix. It's definitely a healthy mix. And part of that is gonna be him, you know, especially this summer. I hope that's on the docket. Ja needs to continue to lean into that mid-range game, because if he has a reliable mid-range game, he does not have to worry about getting to the basket as much. Because what happens when he's getting to the basket? That's where most of the time he's getting hurt.
Yeah.
Whether it's catching an alley-oop, going up for a layup, going up for a dunk, that's what's happening. Do I want to see him stop that? Hell no. But I don't want him to feel like he has to depend on it so much, especially when we're going in these battles and he's the only one showing up. He's doing literally everything that he knows how to win a basketball game, and it's hurting us as a team because of it, because he's getting hurt and these other guys, they ain't up for it. They just ain't got it in them. And so it's hard for me to say that these guys have passed him up when these GMs, these teams, development staffs, they've done the work. They've gone out there, like we talked about, bringing it back to the beginning. They've gone out there and they've traded for the right guys, the right pieces. They've signed the right pieces, whether it's one or two signings. They've drafted great candidates, but they've developed them as well into what they need them to be around their stars. And like I said, we got the piece. We got our number one, in a sense, if you want to say that. Like, if you want to say we need to get a 1A or 1B, we need to get a 1A to make Ja 1B, I can listen to that. I can hear that. But I feel like we got a 1A. We just got to find the right 1B, and we don't have that yet. People have tried to propel Jaren and Bane into that, and that's not them. They are a 3, period, point blank. And it just comes down to, like I said, you got to surround him with the right pieces. He's got to be healthy, and he's got to get that mid-range. I don't care about the 3, but he's got to get that mid-range down, bro. I don't know why it's his psyche. It's his mentality. I can't say I don't know why. He will tell you much better than what I can. But I've just never understood what a guy that has the respect around the league that he does. Like, players really mess with Ja. People can say what they want. Like, the Kyries mess with him. His dad has a really good relationship with Chris Paul's dad. Like, these are the guys that I would want to see Ja Morant, especially while at least they still around. Bro, go get in the lab with them for a week or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw last summer Jalen Green got with KD and he getting with all these other guys. There was a couple other guys that went to a Steph Curry camp that I saw. I want to see Ja get with some of these greats. And I think sometimes he get in his own head, like, people gonna judge him, or he feel like he don't need nobody because he got this big ass chip. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, you in year 7, fuck that chip. Like, that chip gone. We done ate that hoe. Somebody ate that hoe or moved it off or burnt it or something. Like, that chip is gone. And I say that figuratively, like, still keep that, still be in grind mode, like you got something to prove. But at the end of the day, like, people don't hate you, bro. People love you. People respect you and want to see you do well. And, you know, I think you need to tap in and lean into that while at least you got it, because it's only going to make him stronger and better. You see, Shea has gone in and refined his game every single year. Ant has refined his game every single, and said before pre-draft, he didn't even know if he wanted to play in the NBA a long time. He said, I might just go on up and go to the NFL. Like, but this dude is obviously taking his craft so serious to add so much to his game. Halliburton, Brunson is who Brunson is. I mean, straight hooper, ain't gonna flash you with shit, but he is just gonna get it done. We can't keep making excuses for Ja. We can't. We cannot, bro. Like, you gotta get on. I love the dunks and the alley-oops and the working on the layup packages and all that shit. It is time to get a playoff specific skill set that you can add to that shit and dominate. Because think about how dominant Ja Morant is without it already. That's what's so crazy to me. Dude is damn near unstoppable without it. You throw that in there, and we talking about, to me personally, I said he damn near be a top 5 player of all time if he just works on the playoff aspect of getting to the mid-range, getting to the line, being smart about it. You may not want to be known as a foul merchant, but fuck it. Everybody else is doing it. You ain't like, you're not a higher, like, you're not above it. Yeah, you're not above it. Shit, dude, hey, play the game, bro. Because we want to see you go down as one of the greats. So you just got to lean into that. Like Ed said, he can be an MVP, multiple time MVP. I stand on that. He just got to lock in. So I didn't mean to go on a rant, bro. Like, I just would say that I don't want to say the league is past him, but he needs to do his part, as well as the franchise needs to do their part around putting the pieces in place to make this pie all fit together. And until that happens, technically, I guess you want to say that they have passed it, but I don't think that he he ain't so behind in the race that he can't catch up and pass their ass. He
Yeah.
can really come back on some same boat shit next year if they do the right
Yeah.
thing. So
Walk
I'll
down.
just say it like
I was disagreeing with everything that you were saying until you got to the last part. I was finna disagree with everything until you got to the last part about how the other guys in his game have other guys around have refined their game. Like you said, Ant and Tyrese and Shay. And that's what I was gonna that's one of the points I want to hit before I get to my other. I want to get to that one. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It is very frustrating as a Ja Morant fan, the fact that like he's going to year 7. Well, year 7 or year 8, right? Year 7, right?
7. Yeah.
Year
Damn, man,
7. He's
time
going to year
flying,
7.
bro.
Yeah, he's going to year 7 now. Yes, he is still young. Yes, he is still young. The core is still young, but that's not an excuse anymore. Like, Ja Morant has gotten better simply because he's that damn good. And he's just gotten great at the things he was already good at. But are there the same holes that was in his game when he was coming out of rookie out of Murray State are basically the same holes in his game that he has now.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me is a problem. Like you said, as a Grizzly fan, I'm taking Ja over all those guys, really except Ant. Because I just feel like Ant just athletically and just body wise, just some things just because Ant is 6'5" and 220 that Ja just simply can't do.
And
Like I
culturally too. If you swap them two
Ant,
out, the city rocking with Ant just as much as we're gonna rock with Ja, right?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like I'm taking honestly, I'm taking Ja over Halliburton, over Shea. Like, believe it or not, I still think Ja's a better basketball player than Shea. Like, call me crazy all day. I still wholeheartedly believe that. And Jalen Brunson. Like, cool. I don't care. But being that Ja hasn't improved those things that we've needed him to improve on CC Guidance League, that's where it has me reservations. The fact that, of course, playoff success matters. And to the playoff success point, for everything you said, my response is, who cares? Like, yes, context matters, but as basketball, as Grizzly fans, we care about it. But if you look in the pantheon of NBA greats, all those guys didn't get to that point until they won a championship, until they had playoff success. Like, everybody knew LeBron was one of them ones, but they didn't accept him into that group of greats until he won a championship. Jordan had to go through the Pistons until they knew he was very good. I'm not comparing Ja to Jordan, but I'm making the connection.
Shit, I will.
Until, yeah, you
Man, that
will,
dude
and
cold.
I'm almost there. Until he won a championship. Just a year ago with Jason, and people still talk about Jason Tatum, but they at least give him a little more respect now because he has a championship. You can go down to KD. KD, they didn't accept KD into that group of greats until he won a championship. You can go down the list of every great player
And still slick don't.
and still Slick down, but at least they give him more respect. Like
Yeah.
they can't deny he's a champion. Like
Yeah.
a champion is a champion, or at least player success is player success. So
Right.
I agree with what you were saying, but in the grammar scheme of like basketball opinions, like in 15, 20 years, no one's gonna say, "Oh, Ja Morant didn't have good people around, so that's why he didn't win a championship." Like they're not gonna talk about that. They're gonna talk about the fact he got knocked out of the playoffs three out of the 5 years he's been in the league and has been in the first round. That's what they're going to talk about. Like the context doesn't matter when it comes to the long term of what their opinion or what the standard is going to be once you walk your impact on the game once you walk away. I bet the people that lived in like my dad's age and your dad's age, I bet they can give 1,000 excuses why Charles Barkley didn't win a championship. He ran to Jordan, yada yada yada. His team wasn't good enough. It doesn't matter because why? He didn't win the championship. You can say whatever you want about Karl Malone, Steve Nash, Vince Carter, like all these guys that were good, T-Mac, all these guys that were good to great players, but they'll never be in that category of all-time greats because they didn't win a championship. I don't want that for Ja Morant because I feel like Ja Morant is better than a lot of those guys I just named. So the reason why I say they have surpassed him is because yes, everything you said, the context matters. Where the team has been constructed right, he has been healthy. All that is valid, completely valid. But does it really matter at the end of the day? Because, like you said, the track and field, now I'm glad you because I was thinking about that the same thing. As a track and field athlete, if you go to the line, it's like go to the run, people are going to the assumption that you're healthy and ready to go. You can be dealing with a hamstring injury, an ankle injury, whatever. But no one's gonna have that by your name if you run a shitty time. If you get burnt, nobody cares. All they're gonna care about is the results. So what do? You go out, play ball, get the results, run the fast time, and keep it going. So do I feel like Ja Morant is the basketball player has been surpassed by them? The only person I'll say definitively is Anthony Edwards. That I'm humbly saying. The only person I feel like is better than him straight up as a basketball player is Anthony Edwards. But when it comes to the impact of where they stand in the NBA, I have to unfortunately say they all have surpassed him because their success, their accolades have surpassed Ja Morant.
I was trying to think while you were saying that who I could think of. Because I hear everything you're saying, but I had to go back to it being a team game, bro. If you don't have
I agree with you, but people don't care
outside
about
of
that when it comes down to it.
AI, like we know the cultural impact, the
Yeah.
basketball impact, everything that AI had on the game. And he took literally Aaron McKee, the Kempe Mutombo.
Yes.
What was some of them other dudes that was on that team? Man, that team was god awful,
Eric Snow
bro.
was on that team.
Eric
Like,
Snow,
yeah.
bro, like, come on, dog. Like, that's not now. Granted, you can say something different when he goes to Denver. He gets with Carmelo, J.R. Smith, Kenyon Martin, those guys.
Yeah, that's
Or
squad. Yeah.
I think that was pretty much it because the Memphis thing didn't last long.
Yeah.
Like you can maybe say something there, but like Iverson and the Sixers was like that. That was terrible, bro. Like you gotta get these guys. T-Mac, I can't really outside of maybe that 1 or 2 years in the Rockets. Yeah, we out. I may be wrong because he was one of my favorite players. I'm definitely missing how long he was there with Yao. That was probably his best chance. When he was with Orlando, bro, he didn't have nothing. Like them folks was getting their ass kicked, either not making the playoffs or getting their ass kicked in the playoffs. T-Mac didn't really have much help. And he is not even, to me, a top 10, top 15 player. I think, like I said, when it's all said and done, Ja has that kind of talent, that kind of will, that kind of dog in him, that if you just give him the proper running mate, bro. Like, and just don't do it's I'm sorry. I feel what you're saying. We not gonna care 20 years from now, but damn, is it gonna suck? You know how it's the athletes that should I say it myself, man. If I didn't get hurt, man, ain't no telling what would happen. Like that shit really sits in with me sometimes because it's like, damn,
I
what the
agree.
hell for real? So it's like with him, we really finna let this man like go out here by himself, like and not navigate this with the proper, like I said, the proper tools around him, and we sitting here watching it work for guys that we basically agree are not better than him. He got shit he need to work on 100%. He ain't all out of fault on this at all. But like you go surround Ja like a Indiana, like a Minnesota, like a OKC, like a New York. You give Ja 3 supreme long defending athletic wings like a Mikal, a Josh Hart, and an OG Anunoby, and you give him the unicorn. Like Cat is the unicorn. Like he's the standard of a unicorn.
Yeah.
You give Ja Morant that, what you think finna happen, bro? Like for
I
real,
agree with you.
like literally,
I
you
agree with
swap
you.
Ja right now with Jalen Brunson. Is it any doubt in anybody's mind that that's a championship team?
No, I agree with you.
Nobody. You swap him
I
with
agree with you
OKC,
wholeheartedly.
Minnesota. The only one I'm kind of iffy on is Indiana, but they got dogs, so shit, let's do it. They put James Johnson in the game last week just to go out there and get some fouls because they were like, man, we sick of y'all pushing our ass around. Like, bro, you wouldn't swap either one of them dudes and put them on Memphis and expect them to be where they are right now. You wouldn't do it.
I agree.
So that's like, I fit you so right. You're not wrong. I was having this conversation with my wife last week, bro. People don't owe you nothing. But like, god damn, do not rob us of the greatness of Ja Morant on some petty shit, bro. Come on.
But the whole point is we're seeing it through the lens of Grizzly fans. That's why I agree with you what you're saying, but I'm thinking about 20 years, 15, 20 years when he's retired. Like again, we're still gonna be Grizzly fans. I'm thinking, the top 100. Like, is Ja Morant get left out of that? Even though as a basketball player, he should definitely be in the top 100. But he's
they
not
ain't got in
if
there,
he
so
doesn't.
shit, Ja need to get it. Fuck it.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point. But you get my point. Like I'm talking about, like once I take the Grizzly fan, like I have a Ja Morant poster behind me. Like I'm Ja Morant is my favorite player. Like I know that. But I'm taking off the Grizzly glasses. I'm looking at how the league is gonna view him if he doesn't, or if the team doesn't surround him the good play. Like people not gonna care. Like they're not gonna write Ja Morant, yeah, great player, but didn't have the surprise part around him. The only guy, like you said, I agree with you, is AI. People talk about AI because he willed that 2001 Philadelphia 76ers team to the playoffs. Like, but people talk about teammate. Dang, teammate they never made that the first round. Like they talk about that. They clown Charles Barkley every day on TNT for not winning the championship. They
Facts.
clown Steve Nash. Been like, you can go to Karl Malone. Like, as much as Karl Malone a crazy weirdo dude, we ain't gonna talk what he did, but he's a terrible human being. People talk about him because he never won a championship. Like,
Man,
I
his
don't
name was
want that for Ja
Mailman, bro.
Morant.
What y'all thought?
Like, yeah, that's a good point. But like, these are guys that were very good players. Some guys are MVP. Steve Nash, MVP. Karl Malone, MVP. Like Allen Iverson, MVP. MVP caliber players that never got over the hump. But people not gonna care of why they didn't. They gonna say, "Oh, this he didn't."
It just didn't happen.
Like, and I don't want that for Ja Morant. I don't. I feel like Ja Morant has top 10 to top 5 player, like, of all time, not just in the NBA, all time, like, talent and aspirations. I genuinely believe that. Like, take the Grizzly
I
lens
swear I
off
do
my
too.
eyes right now. I think Ja Morant has top 10 and top 5 player aspirations. But he ain't never gonna put in that conversation if he don't get no player success and he don't stay healthy enough to get on the floor and expand his game. Those are 3 things that he needs: player success, health, and expanding his game. Because
Well,
if you look at all the, like,
two of those leading to one of them. So
yes,
yeah.
exactly. So if you look at all the great players, LeBron James rookie tape don't look the same as LeBron James tape now because he's
Yeah.
grow his game over the years. Jordan, same way. Kobe, you KD, like, no, probably not KD. KD basically look the same because KD, his game has really changed because he's a 7-foot guard.
Shit,
That doesn't
perfect.
count. He has a perfect game. So you really that's a bad example. But
Yeah.
most guys, you can see their game has expanded from year 1 to year 15, 20, whatever. I want Ja Morant to do that. And that's all I
Hey,
got, bro.
we're gonna answer this last question from your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't trying to get in no trouble. So
It's gonna be some
Ed, you
stuff.
really a messy boots for asking this. But I'm not
You know,
gonna
I
duck
live
no
with, like,
smoke.
I can go down the hall and talk and smack man. You know that, right? So you better make sure, like, I can walk 10 feet that way and smack
You
the
might
taste out
have
his
to
mouth.
when we get done with this because I mess with a lot that's going on over there. So like I really rock with them and respect what they're doing. But in honor of what was his name that came into this chat at the beginning of the show? His name was Woke Dog.
Mm-hmm. You said
I
he
ain't gonna
capping.
cap. I'm not gonna cap, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna duck a controversial statement. Your brother asked, do we think that John needs to stop working out with his people?
I said this a long time ago. Like, yeah, like, I'm not afraid to say it. Like, as much as I love T Morant and D Nap and Shaban, like the whole Morant family, they are great people. They have put on for the city. They have represented the city extremely well. I've met some of them. I've
Mm-hmm.
met Ja's sister. She's a great person. Like, Lakari, she's adorable. Nothing, no reflection on the
Man,
family
they not
at
working
all.
out with all them. Stay with the
Yeah,
team, bro.
I'm
Everybody
just,
start talking about the daughter, the sister, the mama, the auntie. We talking about basketball.
I'm just, I want to check all the boxes because
I
people get
got you.
clipped and be like, "Oh, these folks talking about the family." Like, no,
I got you. I got you. I got you.
but if you look again, I'm gonna just compare him to the greats because that's what Ja Morant has potential to be. All the greats went outside their camp and took keys from somebody else to expand their game. It is documented LeBron went to Hakeem Olajuwon to learn footwork so he can be unguardable when he got to Miami. It's been documented that Jordan changed up his training regimen, got in the weight room more because he just could not deal with the punishment that Detroit was giving him. Kobe Bryant, he's a maniac. Kobe Bryant worked out with everybody. He worked out. He tried to kill everybody anytime, even in the offseason, pickup runs, all that. I feel like a small. I'm not gonna give it a big because I see what Elwood is saying, but I'm not gonna give it a big part. I feel like a small part of why Ja Morant's game has not expanded because, like you said, he doesn't work out and he doesn't do the open runs with the Kyries and the Stephs and these guys in the offseason. Like he's limiting himself on a. He's kind of limiting himself because he's hanging around and working out with the same people, and they know that because they've seen his game since he's been 5 years old. So obviously they know what would work for him, but it's a cap that every trainer can get you. Like you can look at every great athlete, like Serena Williams has changed her coach before. Usain Bolt has changed his coach before. Like sometimes you got to do a different training group. I'm gonna use track terms. Sometimes you got to do a different training group to get to that next level, and that's what happens. So I think so. Will we see it? But I think so. That's a good question, bro.
Yeah, I think, man, I had this conversation before, like offline. I got a lot of respect for all them dudes over there in this camp, so I don't want to make it seem like anything. I do think sometimes when you're trying to get to different places in life, you got to do something different.
Yep.
He's been through a management change already within his career, because he needed to get different representation. We know what happened with the situation. Do what you got to do. I'm not tripping on that. I think it is time for him to seek other counsel when it comes to his basketball regimen. Now, does that mean you have to cut off everybody that you're dealing with right now? Hell no.
No, of course not.
Because you can still go seek and be around people, go train with people for a period of time, then come back, bring what you learn, bring what homework you got, collaborate, bring it all together and make something beautiful from it. But you got to add that in some kind of way. I will say that for sure. I'm not saying, like I said, go away from it all the way. You got to add something else in there. Love, like I said, I ain't gonna say nobody by name, bro. Like I respect what everything they're doing over there, and they've gotten, even with T, like T's gotten him to the NBA. Sometimes you got to pass your kid off your whatever. Like sometimes you got to let go to go to the next level, bro. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying he has to completely, but he 100% needs to get with somebody different, even if it's that's why I've been so big on Phil Handy. Phil Handy is one of the guys that Kyrie like credits a lot of his development too. Phil Handy looking for a job right now. He's slow. Hit him up, bro.
Player development coach right there.
Yeah, like Ja, I think it's a lot that he can add to his game physically and mentally. He's a smart point guard. We call him the point guard. But there's other little aspects to his game that he could add, bro. Like, and it just comes with, like I said, it's not saying that you bad by admitting that I can do more. We saw Giannis working out with freaking Hakeem a couple years ago. We've seen guys working with Kobe working with Hakeem. Like, they credit the greats, bro. You have access to these dudes. Just go get with them for a little bit, bro. And bring it back
AI
in.
said he wanted to work out. AI said he wanted to tap in with you, bro. Like AI said himself he loved your game, Ja. He said he wanted to tap in with you, bro.
Ja know that, bro. Ja know that. Ja know who everybody mess with him. And I remember it was a little situation on Twitter, and we're gonna get up out of here. It was a situation like kind of in the middle of the season toward the end where, shout out to Shot By Now. That's our guy.
Facts. Shout out Shot By Now.
He was kind of, he got in, I don't want to say got into it, but he got into conversations with some of the people that that run the Grizzly spaces or the Grizz Twitter, and was asking certain things. And it's like, yes, you have the hate, you have the critiques, you have this and that and the third. People gonna put their opinions out there, but at the end of the day, Ja know the whether you want to call it the loud majority or the quiet majority or both. He know who rock with him, and he know the majority of people in the basketball world, whether it's fans, ex-players, current players. He know them folk rock with him, bro. Like, we ain't got to play dumb. We know that. And so just I would say just tap into it, lean into it, take advantage of it, and go be great. That's all we want you to do at the end of the day is be great in Memphis.
Yeah, in Memphis.
I ain't trying to.
I want you to go nowhere else. Please, no.
Yeah, if you do, I'm gonna still root for you. But like, nah, bro. Let's do it here, bro. It's perfectly laid out for you to do that.
Facts.
Right here. So, Yeah, that's all we got, man. That conversation was definitely a lot even better than what I thought. Definitely needed to be said. So I appreciate you bringing it up.
Yep.
For sure. Appreciate the questions, everybody that tapped in with us tonight. We said it was gonna be quick, and goddamn it, you look up and we almost at an hour 30. So for that, we finna get up out of here. Anything you got before we go, bro?
All I got, bro. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us. We gonna try our best again to be on 6:30 next week. We gonna try. We was close this time. We was like 6:40 something. We was close. So we're gonna try to knock off 10 minutes off our time. It's like we running a mile or like running like a 2 mile or something. We're gonna try to knock off our time little by little. Hopefully we can figure out this whole intro things. I know y'all want to like circle in the proper way. So we're trying to work out those kinks. We don't know why the intro and outros and stuff aren't working right now. So we're gonna figure it out though. So appreciate you tapping in with us as always.
For sure, man. Appreciate everybody kicking it in the chat, man. We will see y'all next Monday. See if we got some breaking news of some sort to chop it up about. We'll see. Basketball guys blessed us last week with the Cooper flag and Dallas news. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, man, like we always say, this week, do something that makes you feel good, that makes you happy, that puts a smile on your face. That's what it's all about. And we will see y'all back next week, as we always say.
Go Grizz.